Check 1 2, check 1 2. Cole already in the chat. Look at you. Look at you. Heck yeah. Let me share this link. Get things rolling. Chiefs Kingdom. Shared and starting the show right about now. My funk soul brother. Check it out now. What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? I'm not there yet. 3, 2, 1. There it is. The delayed HD webcam. I still got to get my DSLR connected to that. I'm going to wait till I move. We're moving again. Not sure when. Soon. Meanwhile, dull background. Just my auditioning light back there, camera stand, and tripod, all that crap. Anyway, it's football night. It's not actor night. So let's talk about the NFL Combine and what we found out today. Not starting with, but we're going to talk about this incident that needs to be discussed, and people need to stop with this guy. Okay? I wish him well. I wish he'll be on another team than the Kansas City Chiefs. If we draft him, I'll support him. He who shall not be named until later. He of the short-armed one. I'm sure Cole Kelleher knows who it is. He's in the chat already. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, make sure my voice doesn't sound like Morgan Freeman again. I have a voice modulator thing that changes your voice to a bunch of different characters for fun and for giggles. It likes to turn itself on once in a while, so I got to watch out for that. Last show it did that, so the whole show I sound like I'm talking like this when I don't really talk like that. But anyway, it's me, your Timu Travis Kelce, a little shorter, a little chubbier, a little older, not quite as football accomplished, but a football player nonetheless. Talking sports with you guys, talking Chiefs football. Guys, the Combine has begun. Testing is underway. We're getting to see what these guys can do. Today was a big day for us because a lot of guys are talking about D-line, which we need. A lot of pundits want us to go D-line at 9. I do not want that. There are a number of reasons why. We'll get into that. First of all, we're going to go over the schedule. I'll jump into that for you guys. I covered it a little bit last show, but we'll go ahead and show you guys that again and see what your thoughts are on that. Good to see you in the chat. And 302 30-inch arms. What is up? It's Thursday night. It's almost Friday. Thank God it's almost Friday. TGIAF. Let's go to the screen. So today we had the place kickers, D-line. I forgot the linebackers. I'm going to have to go into that and show you guys that stuff. Did their testing, their on-field workouts and measurements. Bench press tomorrow, then they're going to leave. So they're almost done. Also tomorrow will be media interviews with DBs and tight ends. I think some tight ends already started doing that. That was today. Sorry. My bad. They did that today. Eli Reardon, the kid from Notre Dame, sounded like he was being interviewed by the Chiefs and liked the idea of coming here. He's a good kid. Maybe we'll look at some film this week, or I don't know, maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see how time prevails. But they're going to get their measurements and on-field workouts tomorrow, DBs and tight ends. That should be interesting. There's a couple of DBs I got my eyes on. Jalen Kilgore, Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, obviously, if he's even around for us. I think he goes at number 2. Caleb Downs, or maybe a corner. Forget not, I know Aaron Glenn just traded Jeremiah Johnson. He just traded a D end. And everybody thinks, so obviously he's going to go ahead and fill that right away. Perhaps not. Perhaps he, like so many other people, thinks that Caleb Downs is the closest thing since Eric Berry to Eric Berry. The closest thing to Ed Reed since Ed Reed. Maybe he thinks he's that good. I think he's great. I think he's really good. He's one of the guys I wouldn't be disappointed if we got him. David Bailey today. Oh my goodness. That's the one people are projecting to the Jets. Probably going to be the guy. If I had to bet money on it, if somebody said, here, I'm going to give you $500, but you have to bet money on it. You have to bet on who the Jets are going to take at number 2. I probably would say David Bailey, but caveat, they're the Jets. So, and it wouldn't be too Jet-like or crazy to take Caleb Downs at number 2 or to take Sonny Styles. Everyone thinks we're getting Sonny Styles now because he tested freakishly. He's also not been playing football a long time. He's also still a project. He's a great athlete, super athletic. We've seen this before. Sometimes it works out great. Other times, Vernon Golston, New York Jets, not so great. But we shall see. Here's what I want to do. If I was Brett Veach, Brett, talking to you, buddy. If I was Brett Veach, this is what I would like us to do. Draft the BPA. Draft, not for need. Oh, the D-line looked bad last year. I don't care. Draft the best player available. Measurables, height and weight and speed, production. The guy I love, we're not going to get to know until Saturday how fast he is. If he runs off the charts, we might not be able to get him. We might have to trade up. But I have options there too. Let me know if you think it's crazy. We'll talk about that. Talk about trade ideas I have. Who do I think the Chiefs will draft? Don't jump the shark yet, man. Let's wait for it. Let's work on that. Cole says, usually I wear my scouting combine jacket during the combine, but it's too warm here. That's good. It's good that it's warm there. It was warmed up the last 2 days here. It was actually today. It was the first warm day. The last couple of days have been really cold and sunny. Today was raining and it was warmed up. So weird. Anyway, any hoodles. Draft the best player available. Don't reach. Don't just grab a guy for need. Because here's the thing. There's only a couple of players in this draft, 2 or 3. Maybe 4 if you think Fernando Mendoza could be one of those guys. There's only 2 or 3 guys in this draft that I really think are like, something about that guy. That guy could be something special. That guy, don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of great athletes. I think there's a lot of great football players in this draft. I don't think there's a lot of, that guy could be Derek Thomas. That guy could be Eric Berry. That guy could be Henry. What was his name? I think it's Henry Thomas. I can't remember. Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas. That guy could be Marcus Allen 2.0. And I got a grievance with some of the pundits, a lot of the Chiefs pundits. Just why, if you got to sit there and make an argument for a guy, yeah, I know he's this, but that. I know there's this, but that. Look at the tape. Look at the tape. You can say that about every great college player coming out this year. Look at the tape. The top 40, let's say, or 50. And not have to explain away their physical limitations. That, au contraire, mon frere, you think because they did it in college, they're just going to do it in the pros? No. Everybody is good in the pros. They're great in the pros. You play a lot of guys in college that are really good, and they're going to make a really good manager at Money Mart or at AutoZone, or pick a CEO corporation where they're going to work something like that. Maybe they'll get into politics. They're not going to play NFL football. The guys in the pros, you're playing the best 5 players in the SEC every week. You're playing the best 5 Big Ten players, the best 5 Pac-12 players every week. You're not playing backups. You're not playing guys that were starters back in the day. You're playing guys that could hang at the highest level of the sport. So if you got to explain away their limitations, I'm not interested at pick number 9. I am not interested at all. Because there's players in this league that are going to take advantage of those limitations and make them look real bad and make them look really silly. And you know when they'll do it? They might even have a really good sort of like balanced, solid first season. And then you're going to get the playoffs when everybody's great and everything gets faster and everybody gets stronger, it seems. And everybody gets more aggressive. Everything matters that much more. And then they can't get to that next level because everybody's going, no, you're not doing it. You already hinted at the limitation guy in the chat, so okay, no jumping. Thank you, sir. The Raider thing to do would be to not draft Fernando Mendoza. I don't think they're going to screw that one up. I don't think so. If they do, I might not stop laughing until week 6 of the season. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is crazy. This is silly. Another thing to consider in a team not missing out on a quarterback is, and maybe we'll look at his tape later, I don't know, but Ty Simpson, he's no joke, man. People just recently started talking about him again. He was on a tear early in the season, and then he struggled a little bit down the stretch. Alabama wasn't a great Alabama team this year. Let's be honest. That kid played his butt off. That kid can play quarterback. So there's definitely somebody in the top round, the first round, that's going to jump up and grab him. Whether he's a first rounder or not, whether he's a high second rounder in most people's books, Jake Locker, Christian Ponder. Let's talk about some first round quarterbacks. Rick Meyer. Okay? Ty Simpson can play some football. So anyway, the point I'm making is every time a player like that gets drafted, a player at a position where we don't need that player, we get closer. We move up a slot. We're already at 9. My key problem, as I mentioned in the last show I did, which you may or may not have seen, which you may or may not have been able to stomach because I sounded like Morgan Freeman's little brother. There's a team in our way, and that team's the Cardinals. The Cardinals' top 2 running backs coming back are both coming back off of major leg injuries. The starter's 31, James Conner. Trey Benson hurt his leg. He was gone for most of the season. Michael Carter's their only healthy back, really. DeMercado's probably out of there. Neither one of those guys is a number 1 at this point in their career. They haven't shown that. They could easily grab Jeremiah Love and Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother, head coach, new head coach, first-year head coach. Do you think his brother's not in his ear going, when we have Josh Jacobs on the field, we're a different team in Green Bay than when we don't? Go get your Josh Jacobs. Probably more like a Matt Forte, Marcus Allen type, but go get your Jeremiah Love. He might be telling him that. And he might be sitting there with his little note in his hand like I would be, like Kevin Costner saying, Jeremiah Love no matter what. But they have a lot of needs in Arizona. They got to protect the QB. They need a QB. They have a lot of things going on there. They have a lot of needs there. They can't just jump on a super talented guy because they can't block for him. They can't get things rolling. If the defense can't stop people, the run game kind of goes away a little bit, even though Jeremiah can still catch out of the backfield. He's a great receiver, too. A lot of people have them take an O-line, which I could see happening. I could easily see happening. Some people have them taking defense. Some people have them taking another weapon. They've already got 2 starting wide receivers. There's no reason to go to that position if you can't build the score around them and if you can't stop people from scoring. Oh, little things are turning themselves on. I'll make sure we don't get anything weird loudness. I think the Chiefs will be drafting heavier on the defense this year. You're probably right. The Cardinals snatching Love or possible O-line. I think they go O-line. You got to take one of the top 2 O-linemen in the league in the draft if you're the Cardinals and you need O-line help badly, which they do. Or they could go defensive line. There's guys that people are looking at projecting to us that I don't see it because The argument for it is the argument against it, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. Looking further at the draft order, Las Vegas Raiders, I see them going Fernando Mendoza, obviously. New York Jets, I think they're going D-line or they're going corner. They did trade Jeremiah Johnson away today. That could mean they're going D-line. That could mean they like some of the guys they already have, and they got some free agency ideas going on, and they might go corner, they might go safety. Like I said, we could see Caleb Downs here. We could see Mansour here. We could see a D-lineman here. Arizona Cardinals, like I said, that's the first big hiccup. If it doesn't, and to trade up to 3 would be really expensive. I think Brett Veach is wanting to sit and watch what they do. Problem with that, the next pick, the Tennessee Titans. Now, it's not an offensive coach this time. First year head coach, former head coach, Robert Saleh, defensive coach. He's probably going to take a defensive key player. He's probably going to look at his defense and go, how can I make them bigger, stronger, more vicious? If David Bailey or somebody like that's around, look out, okay? Which makes our path in the AFC tougher. But their top running back is Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is a 4 year straight 1,000-yard back. Tony Pollard is also 29 years old. He might be looking for his incumbent. He might not trust the guys behind him. I don't know. But he's also a defensive-minded coach, and he might not care. He might think offense is a dime a dozen. I'll come back. And like many people have said, I'll get Jadarian Price in the second round. I'll get his backup. I'll get Love's backup. There's a reason he's the backup. They're not the same guy. They're not built the same. They don't move the same. They don't run the same. They don't catch the same. They don't block the same. Jeremiah Love does all of those things, like Marcus Allen did, and glides and doesn't get hit really clean and does a crazy spin move. Like, he does it all. So hopefully it slides past there. Here's where it gets interesting, because word out of New York is they want to trade Kayvon Thibodeaux. Tell me if you do this. Tell me if you do this, guys. If the Giants want to trade Thibodeaux, do you trade? If we get an impasse and we can't sign him, they're talking about it looks like he might get signed. We're not sure. They need corner help. We need edge help. We have the better of the two players. If we can get Kayvon Thibodeaux and their number 5 pick, if Love's still on the board, number 5 in the first round, mind you, and they throw in a 4th or a 3rd, and we give them our first round pick and Trent McDuffie, do you take that trade? I take that trade in a second. I think we could even get another pick out of them. I think we could get their first, Thibodeaux, a 4 and a 5 for Trent McDuffie in our first. Throwing it out there. Let me know what you guys think. And then we happily run the card up and take Jeremiah Love. Because after the New York Giants, and the reason I think they would trade with us, and the reason I don't think they're going to grab Jeremiah Love, although they might, because it is John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh likes to spice things up. Is because Cam Scadaboo's recovery is going better than expected. So he's expected to be practicing fully by June, July. I think late June was the last thing I heard. So that's great. They love him. The quarterback loves him. He's a Giants. He's a G-man. I don't see them bringing another guy in for competition and trying to push him aside. I don't think that's going to happen. So that could be a trade option. That gives us an edge. That gives us more picks. That gives us Jeremiah Love if neither the Cardinals nor the Titans take him. Because right after them is the Cleveland Browns. And conversely to what's going on with the Giants, Quinshon Judkins, who left the season early with a leg injury, he's had a setback. His recovery is not going smoothly. Now, my thoughts with them is we might not trade up past them, and they could still brown. The Browns might brown and just, no, we got to get somebody else. They also need a lot of help, like the Cardinals. And like the team after them, the Washington Commanders, they need a lot of help too. Do they dive in all in on a running back, or do they go, you know what, let's get some O-line, let's get some D-line, let's make some clock management, ball control decisions. Not a running back dependent on the line, but a line that's going to help elevate our running backs. Maybe that happens. So Because here's the problem. I think if Cleveland doesn't take him and they get past and we stay where we are, and Washington's good with their three named running back McCroskey, I don't think he gets past New Orleans. I really don't. I think Alvin Kamara's, what is he, 18 or 26 mil? He's getting a ridiculous payday this year if he's still on the contract. I think he's gone. I think Kamara's getting the chop because nobody's going to want to pay what he's getting this year. He had a very down year last year. He's had some off the field history. He's getting a little long in the tooth. I don't think he gets past the New Orleans Saints. If we sit at 9, I'm telling you right now, if we sit at 9, I'd say the chances are 99.5%. Well, 95, let's say 95. That's high enough. People say 99.9 all the time. I think the chances are 95% if we stand pat, Jeremiah Love is gone by the New Orleans Saints, if not with the New Orleans Saints. I want to trade up and get him. That's what I want. I don't want to risk it. And to all the people saying, well, hey, just, Travis Etienne. Yeah, that's the answer. Rico Dowdle, that's the answer. Yeah, Travis Etienne, okay. The people saying we should get Reuben Bain Jr. And just not Reuben Bain Jr. Reuben Bain Jr. instead of his teammate who outperformed him 2 years straight, the last 2 years straight, who's bigger, who's faster, who has longer arms. 30.78 inches. That's way too short. For leverage, for getting around people to get to the quarterback, he's going to struggle. I think he'll still grind. I think he'll still make a good career for himself, but not in the top 10 draft picks. Not the top 10. Let's see what you got on the chat here. Only reason I'm against trading up is it burns precious draft capital. Okay, hang on. I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to do some trading this draft. I think so too. But Cole, do you think it doesn't burn draft capital if we do what I suggested? If we do what I think might happen. And that is, like I said, if we trade up with the G-men, because they want to get rid of Thibodeau, we'll take Thibodeau, your first and your fourth and your fifth. We'll give you our first and Trent McDuffie because he wants a bankroll. And you get to build out your secondary. Because my concern is we found out this year that Trent McDuffie's size is a problem with the best receivers in football. He's not big enough. He's not long enough. They push him around and they get away with it. And when he tries to fight back, he gets flagged. We're missing L'Jarius Sneed, I'll tell you that. That length, that height made a big difference. People said, oh, Trent's the same guy. He's not the same guy. They're a different style of cornerback entirely. And Trent McDuffie's limitations were on display on Thanksgiving. Full showcase, spotlight on the stage, and Pickens and those guys had their way with him. So I think the Giants, or maybe even the Jets, I don't want to trade up to 2 because that would be expensive. Giants, maybe the Tennessee Titans if the Cardinals don't take him. They might trade for Trent McDuffie and give us their first and take our first and give us another pick or 2. They'd have to give us more because, they don't have a player coming our way necessarily. But the Giants, if we get Thibodeau, it's another pass rusher in the house, another guy in the mix. Another consideration, people don't want to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. $44 million this season, over 15% of the cap. Down years the last 2 years. Chris Jones, 2 games, at least you can count and go, at the end of the game, just sold us out. Just blew it. Not intentionally. I give him grace on the Jaguars game. He had mental stuff going on with his family, he lost his grandma. Rest her soul. I understand that's got to get with you. I would have rather had somebody that was more focused on the field. Then maybe as a team we would have been more focused, not depending on Chris, because we would have been like, Chris ain't out there, so we better work a little harder. But we were trusting that, and when Trevor Lawrence fell down twice, and he stutter started and then stopped and gave up, and stutter started again and stopped and gave up. That's not Chris Jones from 5 years ago. Okay, that's not Chris Jones blasting through the line at the end of the game, sacking Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship when we needed it. That's not that guy anymore. Okay, some garbage sacks at the end of the season against some crappy teams made sure he didn't have only 4 or 5 sacks. But he had a rough year. And the year before that was even worse. He's not the same guy. He's definitely not a $44 million a year player. Someone out there will give a nice trade package for him, though, because he's way better than what they have or probably have ever had. The old rule is you trade a year before rather than a year too late. I think if we don't trade him this year, I think it's going to be a year too late. I think it's already a year too late, to be fair, to be honest. Not to be mean, but, but I get it. I want to see that. Like, okay, he's 30, 31. Let's see one more. He's not coming. It's not coming around. He's not getting back to that guy he was before. And then he's going to be 32, and then he's going to be 33. The next 2 seasons, we're talking $82 million for 2 years. 44 this year, 38 next year. Not a good value to cost ratio. And we're not hurting him because if we trade him, he's going to go make money somewhere else. A lot of money. Maybe to a team that has a lot more cap space than we do and needs that guy. We need a guy that's going to be here and we can trust for the next 5-7 years of Patrick Mahomes' career. Okay? And when they talk about getting Urban Bain Jr. because he's 3 years younger than his teammate Akeem Mesidor, who played better than he did, then I look at the running backs, you say get a free agent running back instead of Jeremiah Love. But they're 7 or 8 years older than he is. Why would we do that? They have surgeries. They have injuries in their past. Why would we do that? They've had fumbles. Jeremiah Love has never lost a fumble in college. Do you know that? Did you know that? Takes care of the ball. Protects the passer. Catches the ball, can run proper routes. Heck of a running back. Heck of a return man. Broke Notre Dame's record for most 90-yard plus runs. This is not, we did that with CEH. No, we didn't. We should have took Jonathan Taylor, and I said that. And if you're a fan of the show back then, I said that. I was standing on the table saying it on RGR football. And getting mocked a little bit by Ryan and Dan, which is fine. They had their opinion. I had my opinion. Dan loves CH. I love Jonathan Taylor. How's that working out? Here's my caveat. People say, let's just trade for this guy and trade for that guy. Instead of, let's go free agency. We'll get these guys instead of drafting these guys. Okay, so here's my view of talent. My perception, my feeling, why I trust my gut. Going back to 2001, we needed a quarterback. We needed a running back. I was looking, is there some way we could get, if we could draft Drew Brees out of Purdue and get LaDainian Tomlinson, I think that guy's special. People aren't talking about him enough out of Texas Christian University. They were by draft night. But still not, they weren't talking about him enough. I still say that. If we could get LaDainian Tomlinson and Drew Brees, and then leading up to the draft, we signed Priest Holmes in free agency, who backed up Jamal Lewis the year before to win the Super Bowl with the Ravens, and we traded for Trent Green. So we got our quarterback, we got our running back. And you know what? Nice players. I love them. I loved watching them play. Priest Holmes, hopefully Hall of Famer next season. He's been up for it twice. He's been passed over. But we could have had 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. Do not undersell this team. I'm going to go to some guys that get paid to do this job and show you their conversation. And chime in when it's appropriate on why I think this way. Let's go to the Dan Patrick Show talking to Matt Miller.
I think the Jets, with the trade this morning, trading Jeremiah Johnson, they're going to go edge rusher at 2. So the conversation for Love probably starts at 3. That's where the Cardinals are. The Titans are at 4. They just
He's the first guy I've heard mention the Cardinals, but he just brushes right over it. It's a very strong concern. The running back cupboards are pretty bare there. You've got injured guy after injured guy coming back at running back. Not a great position to come back from injury, as we saw with Isaiah. It's rough. Isaiah, by the way, could have a better year this year. He could be healthier this year than he was last year. We'll see. Usually takes him a couple of years to come back. Not everybody's Adrian Peterson at the running back position. Not that he was Adrian Peterson before the injury. So there's that. Jeremiah Love is better than any running back we've had since Priest Holmes. And if I had to pick between the two of them, coming out of college, or Jeremiah Love coming out of the draft, and Priest Holmes coming from I think he had 585 yards as the number 2 back for the Ravens, I'd still be taking Jeremiah Love. taller, faster, great hands, runs wide receiver routes. Both great protectors of the quarterback. But I digress. Let's move on.
Added an edge rusher in Jermaine Johnson, which was one of their biggest needs.
So there you go. The Titans added Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. So are they going running back? Are they thinking Pollard's a little too long in the tooth? It's something to think about. Again, we're not trading draft capital if we give the Giants Trent McDuffie, our first rounder, and then go up to their spot at number 5 and get Thibodeau and get another pick or two. We're gaining draft capital and we're getting an edge rusher, and we're not worrying about $30 million on a cornerback that's coming off an injury, and it's a little bit undersized. Nice player. I like him. Look at his stats. This is not Revis Island. This is not Deion Sanders. This is not Dale Carter. This is not even L'Jarius Sneed. And we let L'Jarius Sneed walk. Trent McDuffie didn't shut down Tyreek Hill in the playoffs against Miami. L'Jarius Sneed did that. If he talks about his big game against Jamar Chase, that's fine. He did. He had a great game against them. But when you get in against those physical guys, the guys that like to fight, George Pickens, long arms, bigger guys, their backup in Dallas, I can't remember what his name was, but they kept pronouncing it differently. They kind of pushed him around. So there's that. Anyway, let's move on. So the Cardinals could be a problem. Titans could be a problem.
The Giants at 5, probably not, because we all love Cam Scatabo. But then I think the floor is Kansas City at 9. Yeah. So 3 to 9 is probably where he's at. And being here for 2 days now, I can tell you one thing I hear from everyone else in the NFL is, please do not let Jeremiah Love fall to Kansas City. Don't let that happen. Do not give Patrick Mahomes Jeremiah Love, which, in fairness, we heard the same thing about Xavier Worthy, and it really hasn't made that much of a difference.
Let me touch on this in a second. Let's see. Who is Bain's teammate? Bain's teammate is Akeem Mesidor. Akeem Mesidor outplayed him the last 2 seasons at Miami, is taller, is faster, and has longer arms. But at the beginning, this season, he's going to be 25, and Bain is 22. And everybody goes, oh, that's a 3-year difference. You don't want to do that. Okay, but Jeremiah Love's 20, and you want us to sign Travis Etienne, who's had Liz Frank surgery, a major one, and he's 27. And he's not as fast. And he's not as good a receiver out of the backfield. Or you want to sign Rico Dowdell, who's 28. Make it make sense. Neither one of those guys is the next coming of Matt Forte or Marcus Allen. Jeremiah Love just might be. I'm not saying he is. I see shades of their game in this kid. Watch Marcus Allen's A Football Life. If for some reason you need a refresher, if you've been a fan as long as I have, you don't need the refresher. But just to remind yourself what he looked like when he was running, the way he glided, the way he moved, the way he sidestepped, the way he blocked, the way he took on contact. Then go and watch Jeremiah Love's highlight tape and go, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. To me, it just jumps off the screen. Like it's obvious. But anyway, he's got to prove it still. Everybody does. Trent is an elite slot corner, but he doesn't have the length. Truth. Do I think we trade Trent? The way they've been talking recently, I would go, before I was like 65, 35, 60, 40 that we do trade him. Now I'm like the other way around. It sounds like Veach is trying to make it happen. He could be using that as leverage in a trade bargaining situation where somebody wants Trent and they're trying to lowball us. So I'm trusting Brett's caginess. I'm trusting Brett's going to be the guy that makes this work. Okay? The much ballyhooed by Kansas City fans, but the much ignored by the rest of the league as far as executive of the year, which he should have won a couple times already. Do I think Jeremiah Love, I'm assuming you're saying, is better than Charles? He's different. He's not as fast, I don't think. Not many people are. I think he's a more well-rounded back. Like I said, he hasn't fumbled, knock on wood. Neither did Kareem Hunt till his first game in the NFL. But then he had one of the best rookie games ever in the NFL that day after the fumble. Charles could put the ball on the ground back in the day, if you recall. Some big moments, some big games against Denver, which sucked. Big leads lost because fumbles. But just electric. Jamal Charles was electric. Jamal Charles was more Gale Sayers. Jamal Charles had that, he really just needed 18 inches of space and he was gone. Jeremiah Love is the most well-rounded. Jamal Charles wasn't pass blocking like Jeremiah Love. Jamal, you got to remember, Jamal was about 5'11", I think 205. Jeremiah's 6', 214. and he doesn't even have his man strength yet. He's 20. Like, think about that. Love would be a massive weapon. Agreed. Do I think we trade Taylor? Yeah, I think we do. I think that's why he hasn't been cut yet. I think we got a trade partner sitting in the wings trying to see what they can do first. And if they can't, then he's going to be the option. And maybe that's a 4th round pick because they're taking on a lot of contract. Let's continue with this tape real quick. Oh, he's just said,
So my love, which in fairness, we heard the same thing about Xavier. That happened. Do not give Patrick Mahomes Jeremiah Love, which in fairness, we heard the same thing about Xavier Worthy, and it really hasn't made that much of a difference.
Okay, to that point, I love Xavier Worthy. I think if Xavier Worthy had somebody like Carnell Tate or Rashee Rice with his head on straight all season long, he's going to make a lot more hay. He's going to do a lot more damage. I think he's great. I think he's an electric number 2. I think he could be a number 1 if he could stay healthy. We crushed him with Travis Kelce on a cross route. That was very frustrating in a lot of ways. But I don't think he was meant to be Jerry Rice for us. I think he was meant to be a lightning fast Jonathan Taylor. The quarter, not the running back, but the receiver for the 49ers way back when. I'm old. I'm dating myself. I like Worthy a lot. I think he does exactly what he's supposed to do well. I think he's like a much elevated McCole Hardman at the very least, and can take over games at sometimes. He's done that. Ask the Ravens how effective he is. Jeremiah Love is that guy. That's the difference. We took Worthy because we wanted a speed burner on offense at wide receiver. To take Jeremiah Love would be to take a lot of pressure off Patrick Mahomes.
So I think Kansas City has bigger issues than just, giving Patrick Mahomes a generational running back talent.
Yeah, I had Love second on my Heisman ballot. I thought that he was a difference maker. Of all the players that I saw, he was the one that you had to account for every single game, every single play that he was in there. It was, and to have that where he can take it 90 yards, there aren't many players who can do that.
So I'm at 226. Let's go back to here. The thing that shocks me is that Matt Miller can say this about, well, you need to have other needs, other spots. How do you say that when you let it off with
the best player in the draft, regardless of position?
Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame. I don't think it's particularly close. And,
really?
I don't think it's close. I mean, what he did the last 2.
I agree. Now, I think it's closer than I thought. I think it's closer than some people think. Because David Bailey, I mean, dude. If you just want to go an athleticism thing, Sonny Styles, crazy athletic. But as far as production and athletic and all that crazy, David Bailey's up there. Okay, he's one of those 2 guys. And maybe Caleb Downs. Those 3 guys, Love, Caleb Downs, David Bailey. I'd be happy with any one of those 3. Problem is, I think 2 or 3 of them are going to be gone in the first 4 picks. So there's that. Could be gone in the first 4 picks. But he says that, and then he says, oh, they have other needs. It's like, but the Chiefs are that team where you draft for best player available. You don't draft for need. You don't do that. That's Chiefs of the old. That's Chiefs where we had so many needs all the time because Carl Peterson was trading up to draft a Snoop Minnis while he's trading away Tony Gonzalez. Like, stuff like that does not fly with Brett Veach. He doesn't do stupid things like that. Now, every once in a while, he'll reach because I do nickname him Brett Gotta Reach Veach at least once a draft and get his Breland Speaks or get his Wanya Morris. Got to go up another round. You could have got him later, bro. Like, nobody was chasing you to get that guy. Okay? And I'm a schmuck on my chair in front of my computer, and I know that. But here we are. This guy's contradicting himself right here. And then he does it again.
And to have that.
Let's go forward a little bit here real quick.
But can they draft a running back when they have no pass rush? Their best corner is 1 year left on his contract. He could be traded. Their right tackle's terrible. Their tight end's about to retire.
Okay, but
they're 1 year removed from having a very good pass rush. A lot of guys struggled this year. Guys with injuries, guys with missing games. Chris Jones not elevating the team like he used to. Let's listen to what Dan has to say.
Their number 1 receiver may be suspended. Can you take a running back?
But
number 1 receiver, let me know what you guys think in the chat, might get traded if somebody will trade for him. Paging the Browns. Who knows? He might just be too much for us to just, you know what? It's not worth it, bro. The off the field stuff's getting ridiculous. It's every few months now. with Rasheed. But anyway, let's listen to more here.
But Matt, their over-under is 10.5.
Wins.
Yeah.
How do you explain the Chiefs are at 10.5, according to DraftKings?
2 words.
Patrick Mahomes. It's
Okay.
that simple.
It's that simple.
It's that Patrick Mahomes. It's that simple. It's that simple. They have Mahomes. And
So here's the thing. This is where it drives me nuts as a former coach and a player for a long time, coach for a very short time, then he moved to Hollywood. That's another story. But you say that the reason they have a chance every year is Patrick Mahomes, but you don't want to give him a great weapon to make his job easier, to make him more of a dangerous threat to everyone else, to take a little heat off of him. Oh, we'll get great pass rushers, and then we'll just give him like middling running backs. We'll give him some guys that are okay but not great, or good but not great. I think our running backs are good. People knock our running backs. I'll tell you what, we weren't committed to the run. Even when we were running the ball well, we didn't commit to the run. And when you get one-dimensional, your quarterback gets affected a lot. And having a guy like him, who I think is an elevated Jerick McKinnon at the very least. Jeremiah Love is taller. Jeremiah Love is faster. Jeremiah Love is better route runner. As far as full routes, not just running back routes. Jerick McKinnon did some great wheel routes and stuff. Jeremiah Love can line up in the slot like Christian McCaffrey and run a great number 3 wide receiver out, no problem. And burn your number 3 corner. And take it 90 yards. So to say the reason they have a chance all the time is Patrick Mahomes, but you don't want to arm Patrick Mahomes with better weapons? Let's stop doing that. Let's stop going. The last couple of years we tried to fix the offensive line a few times. It's gone okay, middling. Then last year was like setbacks because of injury and stuff. I think we had a pretty good depth of offensive linemen now and got some good up-and-coming young guys for the tackle spot on the right side. But the building of the defense, okay, we did that, and we let them have lackluster receivers, and it finally bit us in the ass this last year. Last year, the year before too. I mean, obviously in the playoffs, we just couldn't. You can't go in there with second-tier guys against the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago. And last year, we just couldn't even get over the one-score games with those guys. You need more than one guy that can take it to the house on a consistent basis. A lot of people love Tyquan Thornton. I like him. I think he could be great if he could stop falling down. Watch his tape. I'm not going to show it again. The guy falls down almost every time the ball goes to him. It's frustrating to watch. Does he have elite speed? Absolutely. Stay on your feet and take it all the way to the house. Don't fall down because the ball's going to touch your hands. And some guys can't get over that. They do that. They let their legs go so they can focus on their hands. It's a problem. But I digress. Getting back to the running back position. How do you say Patrick Mahomes is the answer, but you don't want to give him any help? That makes no sense. Let's go help the defense. Patrick, you got this, right? You can do everything? Okay. I'm not doing that anymore. He's not getting younger. He's getting older.
And that will win you a lot of ball games.
But is he starting week 1?
Yeah, it won us a lot of ball games last year, one-score games. And this past season, we lost a lot of one-score games because he didn't have enough help. Because guys got injured. This guy's suspended. This guy's injured. All of a sudden, who's your first string wide receiver? Rashee Rice suspended. Worthy gets injured. And Jalen Wiles, who I think is going to be great for us, got injured in camp, so couldn't play. Your second string receiver is going to be Nico Remigio? It's tough. He might be a civil case. Oh, okay, civil case, no criminal trial. Yeah, but the NFL's already stated we don't care if you get sentenced or anything like that. Even the fact that it's there, if there's any truth to it at all, if he settles, he's going to get what's his name? Watson settled. Now, granted, Cleveland gave him $250 million, but he got suspended for a year first. They need to make Mahomes' job easy as possible, 100%. The drops from the receivers is ridiculous. Yeah, and if we were to go wide receiver, if Love's on the board and we go wide receiver, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be very annoyed and frustrated because in our offense, we spread it around. It's West Coast offense. What's the leading receiver get? 6 to 9 catches, maybe? Maybe a huge game would be 12 or 11 catches. You can give the running back the ball. You can give him 15 carries and 5 or 7 catches. And he's going to be as effective as anyone on the team doing that job most effective running back, and one of your top wide receivers as far as getting the ball and making plays. Sorry, bad grammar. That's fine. No, it's one of those typos. So I get those too. Trust me. Yeah, you got to have more weapons around. Carnell Tate. If we went for Carnell Tate, I like him because he is to not dropping the ball as Jeremiah Love was to not fumbling the ball. That dude catches that did one drop last year. And it probably wasn't a particularly good throw. That dude snatches everything out of the air. And he's long. And he's got great speed. Not worthy speed, but he's fast enough for his height. We're going to find out. We're going to find out tomorrow, I think. Double checking. No, DBs and tight ends tomorrow. Wide receivers on Saturday. Wide receivers and running backs same day. And QBs, obviously, duh. I don't know if you have any
Is
more
he
to
going to
say
be
here.
there week 1?
DraftKings might know more than we.
Oh, they're asking about, I'm going to leave this. They're asking about, is Mahomes going to be there week 1? Mahomes is going to be there week 1. Everybody's going, well, how do you know what? We played the AFC Championship after back-to-back Super Bowls. A win, a loss. Think about that. We had back-to-back twice, and the second one had it thrice. Back-to-back. But anyway, I digress. We went to 3 straight AFC championships. The third one we lost to who? To the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. You know what Joe Burrow did the season before? He tore his knee up, had surgery in late December. He played week 1, and he went to the Super Bowl. If you don't think Patrick Mahomes has got the floor at that point, minimum, play week 1, make the Super Bowl. Goal, win the Super Bowl, be another Super Bowl MVP, maybe win MVP of the season. That's, I think, his goal. This is Patrick Mahomes, after all. We're not talking about a guy with low esteem, low self-esteem, or low goals. And that little meme they send around of him like taking notes, trust me, he's hearing everything everybody's saying about, oh, well, maybe he won't be. You're all going to get it. And I'm going to be here with a bucket of receipts at the end of the season. It's going to be great. Give him Jeremiah Love. If we go defensive line, if for some reason he's there, or if he's still there at number 4 or 5 rather, if he's there at number 4, he's going to be gone. But if he's there at number 5 somehow, and we trade up with the Giants, when you look at David Bailey and look at the season he had and you go, what's his measurables? What's his comp? A bigger, faster, not taller, but a little bit shorter, less than an inch shorter, but a little bit stouter and faster Brian Burns? Are you kidding me? Yes, please. I'll take that. Take 2 scoops of that. But I would say my order would be first choice, Jeremiah Love. Second choice, David Bailey's probably going to be gone. Third choice, probably Caleb Downs. Or trade back in the first round. Because if we could trade back in the first round, get Akeem Mesidor and get, maybe another first. Just saying. Or another second. Who knows? Let's see. Where are we at? 6 foot tall, 214 pounds. Year 1 starter, obviously. His NFL comp is Jahmyr Gibbs. Pretty good. High productivity. Almost 2,500 yards in 2 seasons. 35 touchdowns. Workhorse mentality. Only saw 20 or more carries 3 times during his career. So low tread on his tires, as people like to say. Hasn't been overworked, but still super productive. I don't know what's not to like, except people are afraid to draft running backs. But when a guy is a generational player or seems to be a generational player, don't overthink it. This is Sonny, Kevin Costner's character. Note of paper in your hand, Brett Veach. The same thing you did with Patrick Mahomes. Jeremiah Love, no matter what. If he's there, he's got to be there. Or we got to trade up. Like I said, I've given away we could trade up. Another way we could trade up. His knee had great blood flow and no swelling is what I heard. He also had the surgery 48 hours after the game. Yeah, less than 48 hours. Can we have both Love and Tate? I think the league would have a unified head explosion if that happened. No, but there's some really good receivers that we could get later. One guy Let's look at some tape. Let's have some fun and look at some tape. I've been doing combine stuff. Well, let's look at some speed first, okay? Some of the guys. First of all, this dude, Caleb Downs. He's got a speed of like Chris Jones.
What I really appreciate about the
Almost.
Google Career Certificate.
Let's pause that. Almost the speed of Chris Jones. Great split, 176 for a big D lineman. 6'6", 327. This dude would make problems for the offense, especially if we keep Chris Jones. Now, the other thing people have been talking about is restructuring, which Seth Kaiser, much love, much ballyhooed, Casey Chiefs pundit, says he doesn't want to restructure Chris Jones because he's too old. Okay, but I don't want to keep him for $44 million, bro. That's a lot. You know, people think, I don't think he's going to drop off a cliff. I don't think he's going to drop off a cliff. I think he's already hanging off the cliff the last 2 seasons. His numbers are not Chris Jones' numbers the last 2 years. Okay? Led the team in sacks by 1 over George Karlaftis, who didn't have a lot of help either. And everybody blames George. I'm like, no, George is not the problem. It's not George's job to push the pocket. It's George's job to get around the edge when the pocket's already got a bubble in it that Chris put there, but the bubble wasn't happening this year so much. And then some of the hero ball in some of the games where he got frustrated and Drew Tranquil's got to yell at him, which I don't want Drew Tranquil going anywhere. We get rid of Drew Tranquil, we save $6 million. Who are we going to get for $6 million that's better than Drew? That knows this defense, that can be a leader on this defense. No one is the answer. Drew's playing his butt off. He's been totally consistent for 3 straight seasons. Don't let him out of the building. Because then you create a need. It doesn't need to be there. But you got $44 million. If we restructure, we probably save about $22 million of that. Then I'm like, okay, all aboard Chris Jones, let's go. But if we trade him after June 1st, here's the numbers, guys. If we trade him after, let me show you. If you're not already aware. So you don't think I'm just saying, throw away a great player. I'm not. He's an all-timer. He's an all-timer. This isn't trading Neil Smith to the Broncos way too early and watch them go win a championship. This is a different situation, okay? You go to Cap Calculator if you ever want to know how to do it, okay? I'm not cutting him pre-June June 1st. But if we trade him after June 1st, look what we save. See that? $35 million. $35,100,000. We'd save $35 million. Patrick Mahomes is getting paid $34 million. 34.6. We save 35.1. We would get, in return for trading Chris Jones, besides probably some bonus picks or maybe a really good player that we need to replace him in another spot, whatever. Maybe a wide receiver, maybe an edge. I don't know. Maybe a corner, maybe a safety. I don't know, something. We get a player of need somewhere and some picks, or we just get some good picks because somebody's going to give something solid for Chris Jones. We would get Patrick Mahomes' salary paid for plus $600,000. What's $600,000 worth, you ask? Almost pays the salary of a practice squad / fourth or fifth. It's $600,000 is more than half of Asa Pole's salary. So we get Patrick Mahomes for free, and Asa Pole plays for $400,000 instead of $1 million because of the money we get back for Chris Jones. That's not a small deal. Now, conversely, if we keep him, and I love Chris Jones, and if we can keep him and he's going to produce, he's not going to be a shadow of himself, and we restructure, save $22.5 million. That's a lot. That's not a little amount of money. Then I'm like, okay, Chris, you just saved us $22.5 million. You're one of the key cogs in this machine. And if you get Chris Jones and you draft somebody
You're not just sticking your nose in a book. You're learning the data.
You draft somebody like Caleb Banks, or another guy I like from Patrick Mahomes' alma mater, Lee Hunter, another big bad boy.
Time for dinner, kids.
Go watch it. It's not
The reason I gathered you here today is
Stop.
for a family strategy
Mute
meeting.
it.
Johnny, after
Shush.
dinner,
Okay. Lee Hunter, also 6'3.5", 318. This dude, he was the one that made a little face at the camera after he ran his 40. He was a 5'18". There's nothing wrong with that. It's pretty close in all the measurements. Big, strong, pocket bubbling defensive tackle. Put one of those guys next to Chris Jones, and Chris Jones will have a resurgence Faux show, Joe. And there's a couple other guys like that too that you can get later. But he's one of one. David Bailey is one of one. Okay, Arvell Reese is another really nice player. Not as productive as David Bailey. Not as proven. Not as sharpened of a tool as David Bailey is. Okay? But you got to do something about Chris's contract. 100%. Seth, I know you don't want to hear it. Got to do it. Got to trade him. Get some value before it's too late. Better to trade him early than trade him late. Or restructure and get some money back and figure it out later. Because we're in the years of Patrick Mahomes right now. We're not in the mess around with Patrick's career because we want to hang on to guys that are too expensive, or we don't want to trade for this guy, or we don't want to sign. Screw that. I think Turk leaving did hurt us. Turk, I thought so too at the beginning of the season, but Turk didn't have a great year. And Turk, I think, ended like benched or hurt. Like he didn't produce like he was producing with us. I think he got a bag and he kind of like laid back a bit. I think they were worried about that. They know him better than we do. You think we might get 2 first-round picks this year? I think we might too. I think we might. Because look, if Kayvon Thibodeau gets traded to somebody else, or he takes a pay cut or whatever, they keep him, and they still want a Trent McDuffie, you're giving us a first-round pick. You're not getting him for nothing. He's still better. He's still a better corner than a lot of the corners in this draft because he's proven. He's just not a number 1 pick of old. Number 1 of those guys. He's not Revis. He's not Deion Sanders. He's not, those guys. He's a good guy. He's a good player. Good team guy. Apparently, again, swinging in a big hit out of the park as far as what kind of teammate he is. But you got to think about money. Now, that restructure with Chris would get us down to $19 million cap space. Undo that. If we traded him after June 1st, we were at $31 million in cap space, almost 32. But let's go back to restructure because we love Chris and we want to keep Chris. And we want to keep Seth Kaiser happy. So there we have $19 million, okay? Then we trade, probably before June 1st, we trade Jawan Taylor. We're up to almost $40 million, guys. All right, let's restructure Creed Humphrey because Creed, we're not letting out of the building. He's only 27. Let's restructure Creed. Let's keep him in-house. Boom, $48 million. Let's restructure George Karlaftis. He's only 25. He's not going anywhere. Boom, $56 million. Okay, and if we do trade, this way, if we do all this stuff and we feel like he's still going to be one of our top guys and he's still going to be productive and we want to keep Trent, okay, we got to sign him to a big contract. That's going to get tricky. That's going to eat into our cap. But even if he eats like $20 million of our cap, we still have $36 million. If he's going to cost more than that, if he pulls a Tyreek Hill and wants too much money and we trade him pre-June 1st, we're up to $69 million in cap space. We've made 5 moves, and we're up to $69 million. And everybody goes, "Oh, you need players." I know we need players. Okay, O-line we got 2 guys that can play right tackle, maybe 3 with Godric and Esapole, and we've got Jalen Moore, who I trust. These guys, we haven't moved anybody. We've just restructured their contract. So we've only moved McDuffie and Jawan Taylor. We kept Chris Jones. So we keep key guys. We give them help. McDuffie, we got to replace. So, okay, then you go over free agency. Let's re-sign Travis. Extend. Transact it. Let's keep Brian Cook in the house. Extend. Transact it. Let's keep Jalen Watson in the house. Extend. Transact it. And let's keep, let's see here. We want to keep, no, we're not doing that. Yeah, there we go. Let's keep Tyquan Thornton in the house. We're still at $68 million, guys. We're still at $68 million. Guys want to keep Kareem Hunt. Transaction. $67 million. The way you worked the contract out. Joshua Williams, if we think he was good enough. I don't know if a lot of people do. We're going to worry about that later. But cancel that. There's a question there. Do I like, I love Leo Chenal. I don't like him. I love him. I think he does a lot of things people they take for granted. Okay. Now, these numbers are not what they would be. Probably we would be sitting at, I didn't put like proper numbers in there, but we'd probably be sitting at, let's say 2, let's say 8, that's 10. let's say 3 or 2.5. Let's say 13. Jalen Watson probably going to be 6 or 7 million. Let's say 20. Same thing for Brian Cook, 27. Travis, maybe we can keep for 11 or 12. 27, 37, 38, 39. Even if it's 40 million, we still have $37 million to play with in the draft. We're fine. Get a free agent wide receiver. There's another 11 million. We've got 26 million left. You see what I'm saying? We can keep some key free agents, some key guys, and still have great money for the draft and for the second round of free agency after the draft, because that's coming too. And then there'll be a third round of free agency after everybody does their final cuts, and Brett dips into all that stuff, and you might see some of these other guys leave the team. So let's finish with watching a little bit of tape here because it's fun. Why not? All right, who are we going to look at? Who's I talking about? Well, we already know what Jeremiah Love looks like, but we might look at that too. Here's a guy nobody's talking about that people have started talking about recently, and I was not even talking about it myself. If I can get him to come up without having to figure out his full name. Yeah, Omar Cooper Jr. Have you guys watched this cat? Okay, because I watched this guy. I want to see what his 40 time is going to be. We don't know yet. We'll find out on Saturday. But
really full time.
Omar Cooper Jr. played for the national champions. Okay, watch his tape and see if you can think of who he reminds you of. If he reminds you of somebody.
As he throws, pass is caught after being juggled. Cooper hangs on. It's a catch down to the 16. Abdul Carter was right in the face of Sorsby.
Right in the face of him, and he's able to put this ball, and we're going to see him right here. He gets out on the right side. Howland makes the block.
In middle of the field, pass is complete. They bring Howland
Let's watch a little bit of this play here.
Off the play fake to him, middle of the field, pass is complete.
Juke,
One man misses.
cut,
Cooper
touchdown.
for the end zone, touchdown, Indiana. Daquan Hardy had a chance.
What's up, son?
And Omar,
Nope.
who's
Get
a
off.
camper.
Because I watched this guy play. I'll give the spoiler alert. I watch him play. His moves, his build, his sturdiness. I know he likes to stick his nose in there on run plays to block. His hands. And some people, I'll pause it. Some people think it's blasphemy to compare guys to players of old, especially great players of old. You're not drafting for average players. You're drafting for guys who you want to see, what could their ceiling be? What could this guy really be beyond what he thinks he could be? That's what Andy and them talk about, is we see more in him than he sees in himself. That's what we want for this guy. And when I watch this guy play, he reminds me of a guy that used to, I hate to watch my team play against, because usually didn't have an answer for him. And he wore silver and black, and he hit defensive players all the time, drove them nuts. And this is pre Fernando Mendoza tape. This isn't even any good stuff. The great stuff. I watch him play, and I see shades of Hines Ward. Adjusting to the ball, physical, plows through the tackle, sturdily built, not afraid to block people. We need some guys like this who can make physical catches and then get extra yards. Not just fall down, not get knocked down with one little bump play, but actually break through stuff. Not going down on the first contact.
Everybody set. Rourke to the outside. That's a catch by Cooper.
Everybody says, oh, this guy's like a running back after the catch. I'm not going to say that. This guy's like a sturdy wide receiver after the catch.
Rourke going to the single coverage. End zone.
Good hands. His teammate Elijah Surratt, also crazy catches. But he's probably going to way earlier. At least half a round earlier. I was looking at guys that could be there when we draft in the second round. Now, do I think we go offense twice? No. If we get Jeremiah Love, we're not going to go offense the second pick. We'll do a draft for you guys. This one here, another broken contact play. Nope, get off.
Cooper breaks the tackle by Fussell.
We need more than just Travis Kelce to be able to run after the catch effectively. And Rashee Rice might not be long for the Chiefs. We'll see what happens. Hands catch, up in the air.
Indiana with pressure coming.
Jackson get
has
it.
it picked up. Long throw on a line. It's caught.
Gone.
Cooper. Touchdown. Playability.
He's got big playability. He does have it. Let's do a little draft for you guys before we go. NFL mock draft simulator. We'll go to this one. I like this one. We got in the chat. How many busts do you see being drafted in round 1? Oh, do I think Tyreek will get healthy? I think so, but I don't think it'll be till mid to late season. I could see that too. I could see week 11 or 12. We're sitting there with maybe we only got 2 or 3 receivers that are really doing what we were hoping they would do. Who knows? We're still winning, but could use a little extra oomph. I mean, Tyreek Hill's sitting there going, give me $4 million, come in and give you 90% of what he used to give you. I'd be down for that if he's not going to be a cancer in the locker room. And I don't think he will be. I think he's going to miss football a lot while he's rehabbing. Let's go back to here. Okay, close this. So let's go Chiefs. Let's go. This is not the. Is this the one? 7 rounds. Is this the one I normally do? I think it is. Not apply now. Enter draft room. There we go. Okay. Start the draft. Fernando Mendoza, obviously. Arvell Reese. Fano, Bailey. Tate, Mwaga, Falk, Ruben Bain. No, I'm not trading with Philadelphia. I'm definitely not trading with Denver. I don't care if you give me your best Mike Ditka, all your draft picks. It's not happening. Because this won't happen anyway. And we're definitely not trading with the Chargers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. See, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love. There's Mansard Lane. Don't sleep on that cat. That cat can play some football. But I'm taking Jeremiah Love. There's my running back. There's my, hopefully, Marcus Allen 2.0. If you gave Patrick Mahomes a running back that's 90, 85% of what Marcus Allen was, look out. Look out. I'm not going to say he's been making. Ty Simpson will look at his tape after for the other teams. I'm not going to say he was making lemonade with lemons because I don't think Pacheco was a lemon at all. And Kareem Hunt played his butt off too. But he hasn't had a guy like this kid in his entire NFL career. Well, Kareem Hunt, early Kareem Hunt, he kind of did, but different style. Unfortunately, that didn't last. We saw what happened. We're not going to get into that. Rejecting all of that. We're just going to stay pat in these picks. What do we got left here? Ty Simpson, obviously not. Lee Hunter, sitting right here. Dylan Thienman, I want to see his tape. I haven't seen his tape, and he's ranking really high lately. Let's look at his safety tape real quick. Probably going to go D-line anyway, because we do need D-line more than we need safety, especially if we keep Brian Cook. But let's look at his tape real quick here. Apparently he played at a few different schools, like many guys have. It's going to give me some jacked up commercials first. How many busts, Cole? I mean, hopefully none for these kids' sake. Hopefully none. But there's probably going to be 3 or 4 in the first round. It all happens almost every year. Oof. That's when he was at Purdue. Nice. Defender was not out of bounds. Let's see if he gets this right.
Possession. Down.
His foot's in.
There's some green between that cleat.
They don't say it, so he probably didn't get the call. Iowa. Ooh, Johnny on the spot on this one. Look at this. Boom. Hustling to the ball. I like that. This guy looks like a taller honey badger. The awareness around the football. I like that. That's his Purdue tape. So he went transfer portal and made a bunch of money and went to Oregon. This is still Purdue tape. Here comes, boom, the hit and the rip and the fumble. Nice job. He just rips it out. Give me that. Spags likes guys that do that. They coach that. Oof, another one puts his helmet on the ball this time. Same game. Purdue's offense was awful. See, this is what I'm talking about. Don't draft defense over the offense and make our offense struggle. Make our offense score 30 points a game so our defense can pin their ears back. Because guess what? If we're scoring 30 points a game, all of a sudden our pass rush is going to get better. Because things are going to get more predictable for us against them.
Who's got it at the bottom? Ben officials have yet to make it face on ball.
I want to see that hit again. 31 with a bullet. Oof. Ooh, he hit him in the face. That would be a penalty in the NFL. Watch the head. Watch quarterback's head. Turn. That's helmet to helmet. That should have been a penalty. But didn't look like they flagged him for it. Still at Purdue. Oof. How's that read action right there? Went from way over. It's okay. You can turn off. Yeah. Turn my light up a little bit.
From Ross-Ade Stadium. Soars beyond the pitch to Jalen Lucas.
Well, that's fine.
He is tackled by Dylan Thieneman, the
I'm haloed now. It's nighttime. We're quiet.
He is the Big Ten leader in sacks even after missing action
Yep.
last week. Soars beyond third down. It's intercepted.
Dude's a ball magnet for sure. I like that. We need that. We need that badly.
Nearly makes Sorsby miss fifth interception.
Safety that's not consistently out of position. He's like the anti-Juan Thornhill. Burn. Sorry, Juan. We love you, buddy. You won with us. This guy's a ball hawk, man. Okay, I want to see some Oregon tape. Is there any Oregon tape on here? This is all Purdue.
Dylan Thieneman shuts that down right away.
Oh, here you go. Maybe they just stopped throwing at him when he went to Oregon. I don't know. Oh, I think he's going to get rocked. No, just grab a hold of him. The Purdue tape was better so far. It's only one play, but, you know, he didn't wrap up there. Oh, we're going to pick you off again. We're going to get back to our old games. Oh, look at that. High point. High point. In the pros, you can't run that back. Ooh, almost got sacked. Nice, nice. Sacked. Not giving up on the play. That's Charlie Hustle right there. Ooh, number 10. I wish he was coming out. He decided to return to Oregon. You think you're stiff arm the safety? No. No, sir. Hey, Ryan, what's up, buddy? Fellow Canuck. Well, not a Canuck, but I lived there for a while. America, baby. America. Okay, we'll look at that some other time. But that's another guy that I like. But we need D-line. Let's look at Lee Hunter real quick. If you guys haven't known, if you didn't see him, if you don't know, then we'll find out right now. You're going to see a guy who hustles, even though he's a big dude. Doesn't give up on the play, faux show. Let's go short tape here. This is 2 months ago. This is 1 month ago. This is 3 weeks ago. Let's look at this one. Make sure there's no music on here. Where is he?
Had to get it going, and they just haven't been able to do it. Yeah.
Just inhales him. I think he was number 2.
This was not what they expected.
He was one of those guys who changed his number during his career. Almost a sack. That's a fumble.
Happy coach at the intermission.
There's number 3. Can't tell. It's hard to tell. It folds up on him. He's so chubby. He's a big bad body guy. They would have called him back in the day. We'll go back. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to this other tape here. Not 2 months ago. 2 months ago should cover it, but
Time running out again.
oof. He's the big guy on top. Yeah, number 2. Number 2. Right here. Get off. Not going anywhere. Who's underneath? Height. Romello Height's another guy. Could be in the second round. Could be sitting there for us.
And honestly, for the coach, that's a very unhappy.
But Lee Hunter, man, you put this dude in the middle next to Chris Jones. Just a big boy with power, speed, and a sense of humor. Let's see if they show his thing here. Let's see. Let's watch little Lee Hunter on tape here. I didn't get to see his drills. I didn't know.
I told you needed to buckle up when Durant ran. Yep. When these edge rushers get here, just don't take your seatbelt off.
Here's Lee Hunter.
Let's go quick. Come on, pick him up.
Wow, look at that.
Good feet.
Yeah,
Good feet.
He's got quick feet.
Whoa.
The big man. Dancing bear.
He's got a little bit of tightness in his hips, but he has got really quick feet.
Let's watch his 40.
Here's Lee Hunter.
I like his sense of humor. He'd get along good with Chris Jones. With sense of humor.
Top 50
They
prospects.
both be big boys.
Board.
Chris is leaner for sure.
On that 40 time. If he can, and he does.
Nicely done. That's a big
It's
improvement.
like super naughty.
What a personality.
It's like a super
DJ and I
Derek
talked
Naughty.
about this
Way
week
bigger,
with Lee Hunter,
faster,
such a
stronger.
leader for his defensive front, but
Sense of humor.
big
3,
time trash
2,
talker. Guys,
1.
at his
Hit it.
media,
Don't miss your
the
cue.
assembly at his media
Way too
riser
early.
was
I missed
kind
the
of
cue.
spectacular. And interestingly, he
this one or
said,
maybe it's the
if I
second
talk
run?
trash to you, I'm going to get your
Oh, there he
best.
is. There he is.
And when I get your best,
Hang on.
you're going to.
She's
And
talking to him.
interestingly,
Come
he
on.
said, if I talk trash to you, I'm going to get your best.
Ooh.
And when I
You
get
fit
your
in well.
best,
The Chiefs
you're gonna-
D-line. Little smirk. Love it. Okay, so we have him there with the safety. Omar Cooper's right there. See? That's the thing. We're not going to be able to get him. He's going to be gone. But there's some other good. Chris Brazell's another one. The guy everybody's saying we should take instead. I don't agree. Keontae Scott's a nice corner. People, Ryan Tracy, some people like D'Angelo Pons. I like him. He's a smaller Trent McDuffie. He's not as big as Trent. He's a great playmaker. He's a great slot guy. This is the pros now. You're going to need to have some size. Eli Stowers is a nice tight end. LT Overton's a bit of a beast. Elijah Surratt. I thought he was going earlier. I guess he's going later now. He can play. And Jacob Rodriguez is awesome too. But let's go ahead and let's satisfy the D-line people because Lee Hunter's a beast now. And we'll let this pick happen and we'll look at some tape of Ty Simpson. Just to show you guys, somebody might jump up in front of us for our second pick, which would push all the good players that haven't been picked yet even further to us. Tell me if this kid can't play football. 4 weeks ago, that'll do.
We were there for, maybe they needed that spark and to hear that level of confidence. Ty Simpson, look at the
So watch them play with the number 15 on there, and I was like, it's like Fernando Mendoza.
3rd and 11 now for the Tide.
All these guys coming out playing quarterback well and want to wear Patrick Mahomes' number, huh?
Complete for a first down, Bernard again.
Play clock at 1. Here's pressure from the edges. Simpson stands tall, delivers a strike for a first down.
Ball on hands. He puts the ball on hands.
Simpson,
And he's got some mobility to him.
right, and he plunges in for the score.
We'll find out how fast he's on Saturday, but he's got some mobility to him as well. He's about 6'2", 210 maybe, 215. He's going to need to be about 215 in the pros. But he's big enough.
3rd down and 9. A gap pressure gets picked up. Simpson
Getting hit on hands. Ball on hands.
on the march in Wisconsin.
Somebody's going to come up and take him.
Simpson off play action drives the
Ball on hands. Dude, he's gonna worry some coaches. He's gonna worry some defensive coordinators, this kid. He plays like this in the pros. When you're putting the ball on the money.
To the outstanding freshman. Simpson. Wow.
Accuracy is one of the hardest things to coach. To coach it up. It's the timing, eye contact, hand-eye coordination thing. Look at that. Look at that. A couple more plays and then we'll go on. I just love a good quarterback play. Get out of there. Doesn't give up on the play. I'm going to take a few yards here. Oh, little dead leg gets the first down and more. Who's that remind you of? Patrick Light. Doesn't have Patrick's arm strength, but he puts the ball where it needs to be. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You can make hay with a quarterback like that. That guy's, if he plays like this in the pros, he's better than half the quarterbacks in the pros right now. If he plays like that. There's a lot of quarterbacks that they're faster, they have big arms, their accuracy struggles. This kid puts the ball in people's hands. And he's a bigger threat with his legs than people think he is. 2 more plays. This video is long. Oof. Oof. Right in the numbers on the sideline. Decisive. Right in the mitts. Nice. Okay, that kid can play. A couple more plays. I'm getting greedy. I'm rooting for this kid. I hope he gets picked by somebody decent and has a good career. People weren't even talking about him, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the kid's going back to Ole Miss. Oh, the kid's going back to Oregon. He's like, wait a minute, I'm going to get in there. I'm the second best quarterback in the draft now. And he is. He's more accurate than Ponder and Locker were coming out, and they both went first round. So let's see where that went. Okay, I'm not going to trade back to the 6th round for picks next year, so let's reject the Vikings. I don't really want to help Buffalo at all because it doesn't help me this year. It only helps me next year, and it's not that much, so no. 4th round, 4th round, 5th round, no. 4th round, 5th round, 5th round, nope. Nope. Oh, and there's a guy there that I like. And there's a guy that helps the defense. And there's a guy there that had, I think, 6 or 7 forced fumbles this season. We're going back to Texas Tech. We're getting a guy who tested really well today. Wasn't sure how he was going to test. You never know with those white guys. But here's Sonny Styles. This guy's long gone. Sonny Styles is 4.46, 1.56 split.
Want to break into cybersecurity but don't have experience?
Commercials coming up every time. Anthony Hill, 4.51, 1.58.
Want to break into cybersecurity?
Same commercial. Jacob Rodriguez. Pause that commercial. Don't do it.
I don't know if you've heard, but IXL is perfect for business.
It's the other commercial. 4.57, 1.6. That's a great split. Good vert. Excellent broad jump. 4.19 shuttle. He's 6'1", 231. And he's always had a linebacker somewhere from 5'11 to 6'2 and from 228 to 239 or so. That's a leader on his team. He could be the guy we bring in to take Nick Bolton's place in a couple of years and could play ball out for us right now. The kid can play, man. I wonder if his 40 time is in here. Yes. Here we go.
Love to work.
Let's go back here.
He said both of these guys, smart, tough, love to work. Arvell specifically, a little bit shy, but he said he's got a great light about him.
Unofficial was 4.58. He ran a 4.57.
The Google cybersecurity.
And he's there. And we're going to need linebacker help because I don't think Boss is it right now. I think he's still learning. And he's smaller, I think, than Jacob. I think he's like 220s. So let's go ahead and take him. And we give our linebacking core help. So we've got, I think they let me look at my selections. Yeah, we've got our running back of the future. This is the thing, too. People are talking about putting your helmet on the ball is actually a smart way to pry it loose. It 100% is. How many busts do us? Okay. This guy, too, when he punches the ball out, I mean, it's a forceful. He's like UFC punching that football. Let me double check. This might be a trade I'm interested in right here. Let's look at this for a second first. Jacob Rodriguez stats. We're going old school with this long ass show. Jacob Rodriguez stats. Okay, come on. When you think about the edge rushers they had, and then Lee Hunter in the middle, and then this dude, 7 forced fumbles. I think he tied the NCAA record. 7 forced fumbles. 1 the Nagurski, 1 the Bednarik. Like, what are we talking about here? Let's go wiki because that gives you more information. I love the mustache, by the way. Let's go wiki. He's married to a woman in the a helicopter pilot in the Air Force or Army. 6'1", it says 235. I think that's what it said. He won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy. He won the Buckets Award. He won the Lombardi Award. He won the Chuck Bednarik Award. He's a team captain. He won the Pony Express Award, whatever that is. He was unanimous All-American, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time first All Big 12. Think about that. Defensive Player of the Year on a team. On his team were David Bailey and Lee Hunter and Romello Hecht, or Romello Height, however you pronounce it. Another great player. Yeah. Forced fumbles in his career at college, 13. Yeah, we need a guy like this. So we're taking him. We got him. Now we'll come back to the Bears in a second because I think the other trades are not going to be as good. We're going to reject the Bucks, or it's only the Bears. Okay. Just so we have more picks, we'll do this. I don't even know who's available at this point, but we're going to go ahead and, well, the Bills, it's a better pick in the 4th round. Their pick's better in the 5th round, and we get a 7th, and we get a 7th next year. They both give us that, but we get an extra pick from the Bears, and we only have to wait 3 more picks, and then our pick in the 5th round is better. So I'm going to reject the Bills because I don't want to help the Bills, honestly. Let's go ahead and take that. Let's go see who we're losing. Okay, we lost some guys. I'm not worried about. Corleone I liked, but not worried about. Let's see here. It's back to us again. Nope, not going to 6th round. Nope, not going to 5th round. 6th round, nope. Bears again, nope. You don't have any picks I need. Rejecting you guys. So we still have now. We have more picks. 29th, 146, 163, 176. That's a really nice spread, Clark. Real nice spread. And 240. Let's go ahead and see who's on the list for us, waiting for us to come and take them that I know of. All right. We still need edge help. We might get edge help in free agency. Let's see. Who do we want here? Oh, this one doesn't give me the details on the guy. That's something I don't like. Just defend your pick. I want information on the guy. I don't want to defend my pick. I want to know about the guy. I want to be able to show you guys information on the player. Dion Burks, Demetrius Crownover, Logan Jones, Anthony Lucas. So Anthony Lucas, here's an interesting guy. His length, his everything, his speed. He's one of those projection guys where it's like he's not measured up to what they expected. But everybody's, he's also been on a team with a lot of studs. And you're getting to the point of the draft where you might draft a little bit later, but not too much later. Zane Durant, best 40 time in the draft for the D tackles. I'm going to go ahead and take the project. I'm going to go ahead and say Spags can coach this guy up and make him the stud that he should have been in college instead of sharing the wealth. Anthony Lucas. I'm going to look at his tape here. If I can get tape of just him and not his whole team, because it's like everything is his whole team busting in their butts. Because he didn't have crazy stats. He's one of those projection guys. Draft profile. They talk about how he could have been this or he could have been that. This one's the whole team getting sacks. There's other guys I would have liked to have instead of him, but he's the guy that fell to us. And I believe he's a Spags size guy. Let's see here. 6'5", 285. Long levers. I wonder if he's in the combine. Don't know that he is. If he is, he'll be later. Yeah, he is. Did he test today? No, he didn't test today. 7-foot wingspan. Stick and slip around blocking tight ends. NFL size and length. Disappointing lack of collegiate production. They just had a fleet of guys getting after it, and he kind of just blended in. Size is way lower than his weight's way lower than they projected. They said 285. It's 256 here. The combine. 6'5.5", 256. He's a big time projection guy. I don't think he's got off the field stuff, so that's good. It's just a question: is he going to be one of the guys like from Florida State that didn't pan out, or is he going to be the guy that just needed the right coaching, needed NFL coaching? So we took a flyer on that guy. Reject, because we need edges, and it's that point in the draft where it's like projection over production. Detroit, do we want to get 2 picks, or do we want to stay right there? I think we're going to stay right there. What do you think? Let's just stay there and take what we get. Make it harder. Make it harder on us, why don't I? Okay, let's look at wide receivers. Oh, that's a guy I like. There's only a couple guys left that I really like, so we're going to go ahead and take CJ Daniels, who's a freak. Look at some of CJ's tape if you guys haven't seen him already. CJ Daniels. Let me know if there's somebody you guys want to see their tape. If you want to see some Jeremiah Love, I keep calling him Jerome. I used to call him Jerome, but if you want to see some Jeremiah Love, let me know. But we're gonna look at CJ Daniels right now because this dude's a stud.
I tried a ton of AI work.
Didn't have crazy stats this year. They spread the ball around a lot with Miami, but Miami went far, obviously.
And
can't go farther than they went without, winning the whole thing. But 7 touchdowns on 50 catches, I'll take that.
Under pressure off his back foot.
One-handers. He's Elijah Surratt does that too a lot. The one-handers are stupid. Oh, also Jacoby Lane. Jacoby Lane won a few picks before us from USC. I would have taken him before the edge rusher, but he was gone. But Jacoby Lane's one-handers are sick. And a very long guy, very tall. I want to see what his speed is. Look at this catch. Watch this catch. This is ridiculous. He goes around him. Gets it on his hands. Oh my gosh. 3 stutter steps in about a yard and just gets the guy all twisted around. Lovely. And he's bounced through 3 different offensive coordinators in college, so he can learn pretty fast to be this productive, this quick in Miami. Just go over you with all that physical contact. This is the thing I love about him too. He takes a lot of physical contact and still comes down with the football. That's something we need. Patrick needs to have a guy he can trust to come down with the ball, even though guys are jumping all over him, because they do that to us a lot. You get away with it. Get up there. Get up. Get up. Oh, there's a touchdown. I mean, they in Indiana were loaded, man. 2-point conversion. And he's got Kane attitude. He's got that the U attitude. That wide receiver, so you know he's going to be a baller. Little speed. Let me just get down inside this guy. And let me split the safeties. Then I'm gone. Oh, he fell down. Had to stretch up for the ball. I'll give him a break on that one. Because normally he stays on his feet and runs after the catch, which I love. Make a play and get upfield. Make a play and get upfield. Oh, let's take on 4 guys on the way out of bounds. We slant and go. Oh, got to go back to the ball. Nice adjustment. Crosser and seam. Ooh, look at that. Bailing out the QB. Let me cut up here and get on my horse. Oh, Ohio State, one of the best teams in the country. Shoestring tackle rather. So that kid can play some ball. So what are we looking at right now? Where are we at? We're gonna skip. Do you want to take the Cowboy? Want to get an extra pick? Let's take the Cowboy. Want to get 1 extra pick, just because. Ooh, wait. I don't know who's there. Let me see. Definitely not L.A. Definitely not Arizona. Let's go. It goes back 14 picks. Now I'm gonna say no, because I don't know who's there when all of the players are there. Let's see. Inside offensive lineman from Iowa, which is always a good thing. Chris McClellan's another big boy. Tight ends are getting probably slim now. Ooh. Here's another fun one I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if you've been looking at Travis Kelce's alma mater for tight ends lately, but I stumbled on this guy yesterday. I like this kid. This kid is a beefy, strong, not Not crazy long, but taller than you think he is. But just he looks like a big wide receiver, big strong wide receiver. Not gangly at all. That's 4 months ago. This is 2 months ago. Yeah, let's watch this one. This is Joe Royer. He's gonna time tomorrow. Let's skip that. He's a Cincinnati Bearcat tight end. I'd love to see this guy working with Travis. You can always find him on the field too because he wears the short pants. He's got them over the knees. That's some extra yards after the catch right there. He's just hard to take down. He's a strong kid. I'm really interested to see how he tests this week. But he just looks like a yoked receiver, but he's like 6'5". Look at this kid. Dare I say, leaner Travis Kelce? More muscular? Just would love to see this guy getting mentored by Travis. And if we can get him that late, oof, thank you. I think I'm ready for another weapon. What do you guys think? And he just finds holes in defenses too. He's really good at that. That was a cross on the seam. He looks like a big tweeter. Remember Tweeter from Varsity Blues? Looks like a huge tweeter. Oh my gosh. What do you think there, Cole? Let me know what you think of this guy, Joe Royer. Another one. They lost him. We see that happen with Travis a lot. And he gets guys to lose him. It's different style tight end than Travis, but I think he's more elusive than Noah. He's bigger for sure. Goes up and gets it. Dirty shot by the defender. He's cut his legs while he's up in the air.
But watch Joe Royer here working in the middle of 3. Just goes up, sees his quarterback
Defenseless much?
and defender falls down, but nice job going up.
Kansas. Oh, Kansas.
Saeed Gibbs down.
Okay, we've seen that enough. Let's see guy get his head hit the ground. See what you got here? Ooh, get off me. You're not taking me down my legs, little man. So we're going with Joe. We're going with Joe. I don't care who else is there. We're going with Joe. Okay. What's our next pick? Let's use still there when we're going. How far away are we? 2 picks away. Nobody wants to trade with us anymore. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, we got Eli Raridon there too. Raridon's the guy they interviewed. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Man, how is I don't understand how the kid. See, that's the thing. The projections on the kid from USC has him rated way higher in this draft than the guy who was more productive and much better. Now, do we want to go tackle or do we want to go edge again? And get another edge. Let's double dip on edge in case we don't get anybody in free agency, because this kid down here, Max Llewellyn, can play some football, and not enough people are talking about him. Let's see what he did in the combine testing. I think he did a pretty good time, if I'm not mistaken. Edge, they have him way down here. Yeah, 4.81.
Want to break into cybersecurity, but don't.
6'6", 258. 4.81. Grabbing him this late. Let's see here. We don't have the times on the offensive lineman yet, so we'll do that when we get the offensive lineman times. We'll consider that more. Caden Curry, did he test?
Have experience?
I'm not sure if he tested or not. If he was there, I don't think so. I don't think he got. No, there he is. Okay, he's rated a little higher. Let's see what his size is. 6'3", 257. He's not really a Spags guy, and he's not testing. So you're too small for Spags, and you didn't test. So we're gonna go ahead and take the guy I know, the guy I trust, and give us a little more pass rush, or we could go tackle. We need tackle help. Trezune. I'm going to go Jude Bowery. I'm going to go Boston College offensive lineman. Let's get some more offensive line depth just because. Protect Patrick at all costs, right? So we've gone best running back in the draft for a minute. D-line, linebacker, edge, wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle. So we went offense, 3 defense, 3 offense. Let's see what comes up for us next. Got a little ways to go here. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. Oh, I was going to go Hezekiah next. He just got grabbed. There's Max. Hang in there, Max. Oh, he's gone. There's a run on everybody I like now. Was that our last? That wasn't our last pick. We have one more. 240, way down there. Here we come. Okay, what do we got left? Okay. That's a maybe. We might go wide receiver again. Yeah, we might go wide receiver again. Because he's one of the few guys I watched tape on as well, and he looked fun. Copy. Let's double check his tape. I haven't looked at it in a while. Might not. Maybe it's not as impressive this time. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think it's that long. I don't think he's got it. No, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
There's a contract.
We're gonna mute this guy. It's gonna be our last tape, and then we're gonna call it a night. We're at an hour and 40 minutes. We'll call this at an hour 45. Oh, no, productive. 55 for 811 yards and 6 touchdowns. Let's see what we got here. Dijon dribbling. Get up field. Gone. Long and fast. So if we don't keep Tyquan Thornton, maybe this kid late in the draft. He's taller. Let's double check that. I'm pretty sure he is. He'll be here. His measurements will be here. His testing won't be here yet. Where are you, Deshaun? There you go. Wide receiver, Mississippi. Because Tyquan's 6'2", right? Oh, he's same height. Same height, same size, roughly, I think. I think he might be a little thicker than Tyquan. Long striding vertical access receiver, steady playing and production. I like that. Steady's good. Speed, length, hands ball. Nice. Stays on his feet. See if he makes a habit of that. Caught it, stayed on his feet. Oof. Making the moves in the first 2 yards. Hands catch, stays on his feet. Hands catch. Yeah, you can't make plays downfield if you're falling down. Oof. Off the tip. Caught. Let me run over you. Yeah, we're good. We're taking this guy. Let's watch some more tape, though, because it's only 2 minutes. I'm going to call it after this. Man. I'd feel pretty good. Maybe sign a Romeo Dobbs. Draft this guy. Draft our other guy, CJ. Oh, man. Get Royer in there. Jeremiah Love, first pick overall. Patrick Mahomes will have some nice, shiny new weapons. Oh, yeah. Some young guys to develop for the rest of his career. To bring along for the rest of his career and not have to be always looking for somebody. Maybe Michael Pittman gets cut if Alec Pierce gets re-signed for a lot of money. I'm one who likes Alec Pierce. If they don't keep Alec Pierce, I like him. I don't like him $25 million a year, but I like him. But if Pittman came loose at 28 years old and we get him for under $20 million a year, it'd be hard to say no to that. Oh, this guy's pretty good. So I'm saying wide receiver depth is there, folks. We don't have to reach to the top 9 for the wide receiver when there's Jeremiah Love and David Bailey, people like that, Caleb Downs. Man, get off me, bro. You're too small. He's going to be doing this a lot in the NFL. What do they do? You just do this right here.
If they were to trust it and believe it wasn't just a plan. They gave him all.
Give him to Patrick Mahomes, please. And again, hands catch. He puts it, looks it into his hands. He doesn't body catch these footballs. Watch him do a body catch this time. Nope, hands again. I like this kid more than last time I watched him. He was one of my first tapes. That's why I was like, oh, okay, he's pretty good. Now it's like, no, I'm seeing all the hands catches, and I'm like, this is great. This is exactly what we need. Guys like this that look the ball into their hands and don't put it on the ground. Dude.
2nd and 10, wide open.
First down. Look at this play. Catch the ball. Okay. Guy here, guy coming here. Is this going to be a first down? Yup. That's a good play.
3rd and 5.
And he's got height, 6'2". Ooh, two guys like, you're not getting past us, bro. I think this is the last play. What do we got? Little dump out. Get in the house. Nice job. Nice job. So yeah, we're taking him. Boom. And that's it. That's our draft. Jeremiah Love. 2 wide receivers in C.J. Daniels and Deshaun Stribling, who have length, can one-hand the ball and have some speed. Joe Royer, good apprentice for Travis Kelce. We got an edge in Anthony Lucas, projection guy. We got a great linebacker in Jacob Rodriguez. We got an excellent D lineman in Lee Hunter. We got 1 B+. That last guy we watched was my B+. Everybody else was an A or A+ in the draft. We get something like this, folks. I'm telling you, starting with Jeremiah Love and just cooking the rest of the way through. There's a lot of depth in this draft. Be full-hearted. Trust in the process. Trust Brett Veach. There's also going to be some free agency. You'll see. Probably going to have some trades. I'm looking forward to it. March, as Chief Concern said on X today when I was chatting with them. Let's go back to the solo screen and say goodbye. I was texting with them on X when they're commenting on their things. Cats being like, no, not right now. Go sit down. Texting with them, and I was just like, I can't wait till April. I'm stoked for April. And they're like, they're pumped for March. I'm like, March is going to be fun. Some stuff's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. We're at the 147 mark. Went a little over what I said, but here we are. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. All the people in the chat, all the people lurking in the background. Let me know before we get to the draft who you guys want to see us take. We'll talk more about times and everything else as this process goes along, but I wanted to touch base with you guys tonight because today was fun. Ruben Bain's arms are too short. Not a top 10, not a top 15, I don't think, pick. I still like Hakeem Mesidor better than him, even though he's 3 years older. I like Jeremiah Love better than either of them. David Bailey's up there for me. Caleb Downs is pretty remarkable. There's a lot to happen before the draft. We'll see what happens. Till then, as always, go Chiefs.